Hari Om everyone. Today's shloka for contemplation is Karma Sanyasa Yoga 5.29, which is the last verse in this chapter. Bhoktāraṁ yajña-tapasāṁ sarva-loka-maheśhvaram su-hṛidam sarva-bhūtānāṁ jñātvā māṁ śhāntim ṛichchhati. Having realized me as the enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme Lord of all the worlds, and the selfless friend of all living beings, my devotee attains peace. Bhoktāraṁ, the enjoyer, yajña, sacrifices, tapasām, austerities, sarva-loka, of all worlds, mahā-īśhvaram, the supreme Lord, su-hṛidam, the selfless friend, sarva, of all, bhūtānām, the living beings, jñātvā, having realized, māṁ, me, Lord Krishna, śhāntim, peace, ṛichchhati, attains.
Ishaji, would you like to start?
Can start, but I don't understand anything, Saravananti. I'm just reading that English.
Okay. You want to wait for one round?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I will start. So what I see here, to me, it's like kind of bhakti here. Duality is in full play. Supreme Lord of all the worlds, duality. Friend of all living beings, duality. My devotee. How's that? Yeah, maybe someone can help me. Otherwise, it's very clear, straightforward. From bhakti point of view, I can say that you want to surrender. Here you go. At the end, I am the enjoyer of everything, or I am the one who is everything ends with me, right? So, and I am the Lord of all the world. So you don't need to have this doubt where to go, right? And the selfless friend being like, I have nothing to gain. There is no selfish reason to come to me, or like for me to help you, right? And you come to me and you attain peace. Straightforward, pretty. From the bhakti point of view, straight, right? Is there any other viewpoint anyone else is seeing here? But it is coming under karma sannyasa yoga. So one reason I can see is like do all the duties and like keep me throughout. Because that's where all the tensions arise, right? Am I doing it right? Will I get it? Will I get the result that I'm looking for, or I'm starting with? Will I go wrong? Right. So maybe that can be the starting one. Ishaji, maybe you can try to pick up from here, or
Little I had something, Saravananti.
okay, go for it. Yeah.
What say I like, even I understood that that part only where the Lord is saying everything that you do. There is this famous saying which what is this name? A.R. Rahman says, no, Ella yeah. So whatever we do in our life, all the rewards, awards, everything is not for ourselves, it's for the God. So I think every work we do, that's what God is saying. Whatever you do, you're not doing for yourself. It is actually subconsciously we are doing to God. God is like, here I feel it's almost like, even when it comes to Krishna, God also, is not expecting anything from us. He's just giving, giving knowledge, giving uh, the entire Gita, everything is given to us. But what is expected of us, actually, it is nothing. So when you go by dharma and whatever result you get, though we enjoy the fruits, it's all dedicated to the Lord itself. So apart from I don't.
Can you see the context? Why is this teaching coming to play here? Why should he say this?
I think last shloka, no, it was like whatever we do, we have to look at it as a witness and not look at it as if we are doing. I guess it was the last shloka, last class when we learnt about that shloka itself. So I think this connects to that saying that when you are looking at it and then when you are doing what is right at that particular time, no, you will do, how will I put in? Because Vijay ji gave an example, no, when I think last class it was, that, when there is something happening, imagine two people are fighting. So either you go in between and stop the fight, or you call a police, or you call bystander, people who are their friends or their families to stop it. Whatever you think is right at that particular time, after analyzing the situation, you will do it. So you will not jump into things without, no, at that particular moment. That's what he gave example, like in case they're having weapons, the ideal situation is not to go and stop them from fighting. So at that particular time, what is necessary to be done, that is what is, witnessing and then reacting a situation. So I guess after that, same chapter, I guess, after that comes this one saying that after we do what we are supposed to do, the rewards of which is to the God itself. So once we know that, see, first thing, I think the previous chapter, we know that, do not expect any rewards. Whatever you do, you just keep doing. Okay. So in case we get it also, it's like, nothing goes to our head or nothing you get to carry off. So it is again, you are just doing it without expecting. So in case something nice or good karma or whatever you gain, it is for your creator. So once you understand that itself, I think we'll be in peaceful when we don't expect the reward what we have in mind. So if I do this, I will want like this reward itself. So I work very nicely in the office. What I expect is an increment or incentive. So anytime our increment is less percentage, we get irritated.
But if you get what you expect, doesn't it?
Vijay ji, expectation has no end. So in case I'm getting at 20% hike, will it stop me for looking at a job which is going to give me another 20% hike? No, right? So it will never stop. So
that comes later. For that moment, when it is announced that either, let's say, you get an award or you get a promo or rise,
whatever, I don't know whether we'll ever be happy with in that particular instant, because as long as personally, as long as I don't get it, no, I want it. As soon as I get it, I think the other one would have been better. So I don't think so satisfaction with material stuffs is ever fulfilled for me. So I better expect nothing. Whatever I get is fine kind. So if I can only talk about myself, no? So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
buy a car as soon as I said, in showroom and in shops, everything looks wow. As soon as I can buy it and get it inside my house, I don't like it anymore. I want something which I actually had, contemplated. Should I buy this or that? Or that only will look nice for me. So that expectation of, fulfillment with things, even if I really, really want it also, as long as you want something, there's always a reason for not being happy with that want also. It is like what you call byproduct of your want, not being satisfied. So yeah, I think that's what the time when we realize for our effort, when we get the fruits, whatever we get, how much ever, so many times, 90% of the time it won't be something which you desire. But if that doesn't stop you from doing the right thing, if you can continue working in the same, or if not in a better way, I think that's when you attain peace. You come to peace within yourself.
And any comments on this? I am the enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities.
Sacrifice. See, if you go by word, no, it will be so mean. You will feel about God saying you sacrifice everything. I'll only enjoy all the result. But if you see it, and if you have to give it as an example of a normal person, like in case if it is us or if it is me, whatever my parents sacrificed, who is enjoying? Me, right? So whatever I sacrifice, who is going to enjoy? My child. So it's always, but will it stop me from doing it? Because I enjoy the process of sacrificing things for my child. So I feel that, when you enjoy whatever you're doing, though your beneficiary is God, but still you want to do your best, because the love towards the other person, for whomever you're dedicating to, that is much greater than enjoying it for yourself. This is same, Sarvananji. Just imagine you get the best sweet in your office. What will you do? When you take a bite and you know the taste is very good and you're 100% sure your child will enjoy it more, you will bring it home. No, it doesn't matter how much of you like. So they eating and looking at their face and enjoying that food, you will actually feel you have eaten it. Though you will never get to taste. Maybe it is something which has come from somewhere far from our country. So it's like that. I feel like that, See, if the love towards our whichever form of God or not God, or it doesn't matter. When you are doing it for somebody else, or when you're doing it for someone whom you really treasure and love, you will do it much better.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Shubhaji. Shubhaji, I think you are on mute. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So when I look at that statement, enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities, I think Krishna is pointing us towards that these are all the temporary things. Even though I am the enjoyer of all these things, at the end, I am that selfless friend who gives everything to all living beings. He is referring to everything, even a minute organisms, right from that to the human. So he says, don't look at all those temporary things, but focus on the permanent things. And this is one way of attaining peace in this Kali Yuga. So as you said, there is also the bhakti aspect here in the shloka. So if we focus on bhakti towards God, then that is also helps us in attaining peace. So that is what I see in this shloka. So when we know that God will take care of everything, then that becomes our focal point and we have no fear, is what I see in this shloka.
Yeah. Okay. Padmaji.
Yeah. So I think here two aspects are there. One is through this shloka we understand that Krishna is saying that I am the supreme Lord of this world. That is one aspect. However, when somebody is so big, like in the case of Arjuna itself, I think this sentence fits very well with him, because he showed his Vishwarupa before he gave him the Gita. However, he was also his friend, Sakha. So close to him, yet he was also the all-powerful, and that is how he gave him the Vishwarupa Darshana. So even Arjuna was in awe and scared of him, and he said, I don't want to see this Rupa of yours. You are better when you are my, Sakha. That is what he says. So I think that is highlighted here in the sense that he is saying he's the enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities. So everything, since this is also karma sannyasa yoga, so everything that we do should be offered as a yajña. So, and the receiver of all that result of that yajña is all going to only him. And even though it is going to maybe various deities, but he is the supreme. So he cannot come everywhere. So he has all these different devatas. So when the offering is done even to the different devatas, ultimately he is going to be the enjoyer because he is the supreme. And similarly, when we say austerities, so when there is some tapasya where we control our senses, or we are more disciplined to achieve something, or to go near him, we do some austerities or some rituals. All that also, he is only the enjoyer of all those things also. So in that sense, he is saying that I am the only enjoyer. And through this picture also, it highlights how he is the one, he is the light behind everyone, right? Every being that is there, he is the light behind them. So when you realize that he is the light behind everything, then he can also be your friend. You can address him or attain him with any bhava that you have. Either it can be bhakti, like how some of you suggested, and it can also be like a sakha, like how Arjuna saw him. So in any way we can attain him, and that will eventually give us some peace, I think. Because one of the things that we have is the ego wants to do everything. When we do karma, there is so much of ego in play when we are in karma yoga. However, feeling, or when we do those karma with the bhava that this enjoyer is not me, it is I am offering it as an yajna to him, then there is not much it helps us to not have attachment to the result, or any expectations that we have. So that kind of relieves us, that kind of stops the bondage, I feel. So that is what is highlighted here, I feel.
Perfect. Yeah. I guess the Brahmarpadam Brahmavi goes very well here, right? And yeah, I guess I get it that the confusion starts when all the thoughts go about like, will I get it because I am the doer, right? So that's where like how to do it, and like the doing has to have only one intent, which is like dharma. I am doing it as per the dharma, and after that, that karma, if it is offered as an offering to him, then one, that big load on the back is off. Okay, I'm not doing it, like, to me, this is my dharma, and like whatever is the right will happen, and the outcome I'm offering, when I say I'm offering, like that anxiety or the tension will not be there of like how the result will be. And this is something which I've been thinking for last few days. The results are all possible results are valid only. It's only when I want certain desired result, then it looks like this is the only valid one and everything is invalid. That is from my point of view, right? But from the universal point of view, every result is valid. The very fact that there can be outcome is a valid outcome, and whatever is the outcome that is needed for that moment, from the universal consciousness point of view, will happen. And a small ego will not be able to understand the big universal play there, right? So that way, yeah, this is definitely a good verse to maybe start the day with. I can say, like, I think I will note it down. Yeah, there are days I think like I want to start with one good verse and like stay with it, and like help and like be my guide throughout the day. Because whenever I've seen that, like when one gets involved in a karma, right, there is always that I want this. And the intent may be like what Shubhaji was saying. The intent may be good. I want the best for others, but then like why is there so much hindrance, blockage? Why people are not understanding? Like I'm trying to get the best, right? That anxiety, and then that thing causes that stiffness and in the body, and you don't end up not enjoying the whole thing because you are so much focused on that outcome, saying like I'm doing all this to get the best outcome and thinking that like that's the best, while the ego doesn't know what is the best. Right? From a dot point of view, only you can see limited. But from a universal consciousness point of view, it's all are part of him, and whatever is valid and right for that moment will happen. And so this gives that clarity to, you know what, put your baggage off and just go swim, or like sail through it effortlessly and enjoy the moment, enjoy the day, right? Yeah, that's
One statement Guruji said in during that Shakti Darshana, I was listening, that God gives you only what you need. Your wants are many, but what you need is what is given to you, no matter what you ask. So I think that also sums up this thing, right? Then the expectations and all doesn't come in question, right? Because what is needed for you is given to you. But do you have that trust is what he will ask. Do you really trust
do
it?
you have that?
Do you have that trust in the universe? So we say, yeah, I trust that the universe will give me whatever is needed. But do you have that trust?
Yeah.
This is a question.
It also goes well with as Ishaji was saying, right? When we do something for our children, they don't know why we are saying do this, don't do this, but because they are only looking at from their experience or like one's point of view. But like when as a parent, when you are attending to them, you are like you know a lot more of things, and like you're trying to give the best considering all those things, right? It's just a role play changed. Right? When a child approaches us and like how we react. But me as a child, can I see myself as a child and the universe as like the parent and say, you know what, I trust you. I know that like you are taking care of me. I don't have to worry. Right? That I think that grown up thing kind of puts mask that and say, and like I have to take care of myself, and who else will take care of me? Right? Yeah. Nice point actually. Yeah, just the role play change.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, maybe sir can shed some light on this. When I thought about this word tapasya, no. So if we think, or rather, if I think that we are following some things, at least in the spiritual journey, where we do certain things or certain practices, say whether it is meditation or listening to the videos and trying to implement all this. Again, this is also the ego that says that to a large extent that you have to go this way to find the eternal, right? So I feel that somewhere all this what we do is also driven by the ego. At least I felt it today, because I get some kind of high when I watch these videos. I feel suddenly, oh wow, what a influx of knowledge, and I think I can see it in my face later on in the video also, that it reflects out on my face how happy I am when I share all these things with all of you. But is it only ego driven, or is it something more deeper? How do you like even know that? How do you judge that, if it is to be judged?
Yeah, in some ways I feel like once like one is in the path with a guru, the ego is kind of like ready to submit, or like has submitted that level, at least in that path. Maybe outside the path you may still wake up and say, you know what, I need to drive the car, right? But here, you know what, there is Krishna riding my chariot, right? So hey, I right, you have at least you have given that stage to that guru, saying like, there is Krishna driving my chariot. But in this in that path session, for that session, when you are receiving the jnana, right? I think that acceptance is what I guess allows you to even uh, sit and listen, and like you feel that it will go it is going in the right direction, or it is going where it should, right? Yeah, uh, the same protective role of the ego, it also it has to be satisfied to allow the seeker to sit. Otherwise, the ego will, you know what, will say, fine. I think it's the same yarn. You will get it everywhere, and like everyone is giving this. Right? I don't know. That's how I see it. Like analyzing myself, like why will this set of people will show up, right? Just introspecting myself. Like the one who wants to go in that path to figure out, and two, like he has felt that like there is he has find the right one to take.
One thing that I strongly believe is no one comes into your life by chance. Okay, there is a purpose for each and every one that you interact with. Okay. Yeah, I know that smile. Don't bring Vedanta here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not like that, but that is one thing. So when I see that all of you are my satsang members, so in every although Guruji's teaching is what we follow, obviously we get something from each of us. We gather something or get something from everyone present here, and obviously there is one non-judgmental quality about this whole group, where you are always comfortable, you want to come back here again and again. Those kind of things are also driving the entire thing.
Yeah.
But the study itself, the path itself, I was wondering, is it only completely driven by ego, or is there something deeper also? Yes, of course the seeking is there, otherwise we wouldn't have even come to this path. But as we progress, how do we separate where is the ego, and
Yeah.
where that line, how do you draw that line, or where? That I wanted to,
Yeah. We'll have Vijayji explain. But yeah, also I remember that all all paths finally come to me. I guess it's
Yeah, that was our
that-
last week's discussion. Yeah.
right?
सर्वदेव नमस्कारः केशवं प्रति गच्छति.
Yes, see, punchline.
Awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you,
So,
Vijay.
Padmaji,
Hmm.
we unnecessarily make the ego the villain.
Yeah.
Ego is not the villain. It is the usage of the ego. Knife is not the villain. It's the usage of the knife. So the knife can be used to kill or the knife can be used to heal. So therefore, the same ego, at the end of the day, direction in life comes because there's a sense of a doer doing something. So the doer, the identity of the doer is what matters in that doing. The identity of the doer is what Sri Krishna is trying to point us at, and he wants us to look at what is a right identity that you and I should have. He's not asking us to get rid of the identity.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
So at the end of the day, you are a mother, so therefore you care for your child. You are a teacher, that's why you go preparing with all the preparations that you do so that you can give the best. So the idea behind whatever the role play you are doing, when it is of a gratification for me, so when I'm seeking the outcome to be gratifying to me, then there is a catch. It is not the ego that is the catch. It is the idea of using the ego to gratify that ego. I have to get praises. Why I am doing all this? I have to get praises. However, just as an example, Prabhuji has been sharing all this for last 25, 30 years. He's not getting tired of it. So is there not a sense of a identity that is driving that? Otherwise, why would he wake up every day morning and then do this again and again? But what is the identity? That is important. What is that identity seeking? That is important. And that is essentially the context for this chapter also. Karma Sanyasa Yoga. Sanyasa means what? To give up, to let go. Now, Krishna is Vedavyasa Maharshi is giving crazy names. Krishna is teaching, do your duty, but Vedavyasa Maharshi is saying Karma Sanyasa Yoga, give up your karma. So it's like dropping your karma. So what does it mean to drop the karma is what Sri Krishna is clarifying, or Vedavyasa Maharshi is clarifying, or the great masters have been clarifying. So if you don't mind, Saravananji, I have some slides to share. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
So we can begin with, all of you may know this wonderful shloka from Kalidasa in a play called Raghuvamsa. Vagartha viva sampraktau vagartha pratipattaye jagatah pitarau vande Parvati Parameshwarau. It has multiple wonderful things, but one of the simplest interpretation you are seeing here, just like how you cannot really separate the word and the meaning. See, a word, especially Sanskrit, that's why Sanskrit is a wonderful language. Unlike a language where the word and the meaning are separate, you have to take the word and then you have to imbibe meaning into it. In Sanskrit, it has the word and the meaning kind of connected, just like two sides of the same coin. If you are watchful enough, as the word or the sound comes out, the meaning also arises within you. That's the beauty of language called Sanskrit. That's why it's called Deva Bhasha. So what Kalidasa is saying, may I have the wisdom to see the sense of that word and how the word and the meaning are not separate, Jagataha Pitarau, Parvati Parameshwarau, may see the sense of this world as Parvati and Parameshwara, Shiva and Shakti. It also has a wonderful word play here. Parvatipa Ramaya Ishwarau. If you break it like that, it becomes Vishnu and Lakshmi. Parvatipa Rama Ishwarau, Rameshwara. Okay, so like that, look at the beauty of that poet. Okay, so in a single sentence, he has appealed to both the leftist and the rightist, so-called. Both the Shiva Bhaktas and the Vishnu Bhaktas. Okay, so he wants to make sure that all of them are happy. All the Indians are happy. Okay, but anyway, so the important thing is, see here, Jagataha Pitarau. Like how wonderfully Sharamananji was saying just now, may see the parents of the universe. May I have the wisdom to see the parents of the universe. So, when Sri Krishna or Vedavasa Maharshi or Sadguru or any great master is teaching us karma sannyasa, what do they mean? Even Ramana Maharshi has already taught us that. Ramana Maharshi said, look, whatever action you are performing, if you keep performing it, it is a never-ending ocean of action. Because as soon as you perform an action, there is a fruit of the action. And that fruit of the action leads to further action. Just like how the example is given, a mango seed leads to a tree, which in turn leads to hundreds and thousands of fruits, which in turn leads to hundreds and thousands of trees. So it's a never-ending ocean. Action is a never-ending ocean. So where is the end to it? And Ramana Maharshi, Sri Krishna, Vedavasa Maharshi, Sadguru, they all are giving us the clue here. What are they saying here? They're saying here, Ramana Maharshi said, Ishwararpitam nechchaya kritam. He said, do your action as an offering to the Lord, as an offering to Ishvara. Here, for the karma sannyasa, what should I drop? I should drop not the karma, I should drop the attitude of it is for me. That has to be sannyasa, that I have to give up on that. So to whose purpose then I should do the work? There's a wonderful story all of you know from Prabhuji's life. So Prabhuji was teaching in some temple in Kerala, Bhagavad Gita, and there was one elderly person who wanted to distribute Bhagavad Gitas in his village. So Prabhuji had taken a gunny bag of Bhagavad Gitas. And that elderly person, almost 70 plus, he came and he collected and he said, okay, oh, so many Bhagavad Gitas, how can I carry, also I have to catch 2 buses. So Prabhuji asked him, see, you're doing work in office. For who are you doing the work? He said, for my boss. So the boss of Bhagavad Gita is Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna will take care because Prabhuji had to go for his class. So he was running late. So he said, Sri Krishna will take care. So very nice to say. What will happen? So that is the beauty of this shloka. The shloka may look like a very, do your work as an offering to Lord. When you truly do it as an offering to Lord, what happens is what that real life incident shows. So that person was also wondering what to do, and then he came to the bus stop. As soon as he came to the bus stop, from that place to his village, in a given day, there's only one bus, which is like a non-stop bus. Okay, he doesn't have to change. And that bus was there. Wow, first miracle. And as soon as he came there, some fellow said, I am also climbing up to put the gunny bag. Shall I carry? He carried. Second miracle. So as soon as he came to his village, as soon as he got down, that fellow, somebody else was there and he also removed his bag and he just stood there. A van stood in front of him and that fellow said, Arre, you are there. I am going to village only, come. And he put the bag in the van and he drove him to the home. So it's like miracle after miracle after miracle. Life is a series of miracles. When you're doing it for your boss, who's your boss? Who's my boss? Sri Krishna. So Sri Krishna is teaching us that. And when you do that as an offering to the Lord, miracle is the life. Because there is nothing else that one needs in life. Why? Tell me, what is the purpose of all the things that we are doing? Here, the picture shows hundreds of things that, all of us are doing day in and day out, right? What is that we are seeking from all this? From all these different kinds of activities, you and I know the answer. It is nothing but, we want a sense of peace and happiness. That's why we do whatever that we are doing. But the only question is, where is it? Right? So to illustrate that now, here is a picture. Okay, so now I'm sure all of us are students of science. So what is this picture showing? Who wants to answer? So what is this picture showing? Ishaji, do you want to take a guess?
Rain, no.
Ah.
What do you call that? The process of rain.
So the process of rain. Okay, good. So it's showing the rain, the cycle of rain. Okay, one answer. There are no wrong answers in Bhagavad Gita class. So therefore you don't have to worry.
How water is coming back to earth.
Okay, excellent. Very nice. Any other guess?
My husband is saying karma.
How's
karma.
How is
What
it, karma?
you only know will come back to you.
So
keeps coming back.
I was just about to say that what you give comes back.
Good guess. But in one sense, it's a typical reverse life cycle, right?
Yeah.
So what is happening? What is really happening? So the water is coming down as rain on some, mountain or whatever. From there, it starts flowing as a small stream. And then suddenly it becomes a bigger stream, which you and I start naming as Kaveri, Tungabhadra, Ganga, whatever name. And what is that our rivers do? They flow. And where do they end up? In a place called ocean. And where does these so-called clouds get the water vapor? From the ocean. From the ocean, the water is evaporating and it condenses. So in a way, if I ask you, where does a river begin and where does it end? Where does it really begin if you see this cycle? It is beginning from the ocean. Where is it ending up? It's ending up in the ocean. So Sri Krishna is telling you and me the same thing. Everything is beginning from him, and you and I suddenly in between are claiming, no, it is mine. So therefore he's saying, relax, like how the water began from the ocean, everything has begun from me. So now it is only to me that, it's also coming back. You are mistaken in saying that you are in between, that, it is yours that you are offering to me. I go and decorate the God and everything, and I say, God, today I'm offering Naivedyam to you. Look, I have done so much of nice Naivedyam to you. Panchamrita, Kajjaya, Obittu, all that we prepare. We say, oh God, I'm offering to you. Take this, bless this. But if that God were to speak, and if he were to ask you and me a question, my dear child, from where did you get all this? From where did you get all this Obittu? From where did you get all this nice little mangoes? I bought it from the store.
Sure.
From where did the store fellow get it? He got it from warehouse. Where did he get? So like that, as you keep asking that question, and you know that as you keep going back and back, ultimately it boils down to something that has come from this Mother Earth. Because everything that you and I consume, whatever it may be, including this so-called body, we've only gathered from this mother. You have gathered from this mother, but you've forgotten that you've gathered from this mother. Okay, let it be so. So, how that mango grew from this mother's womb? It was a seed. What is in a seed? Nothing but that energy. So, that is what Kalidasa is saying. Jagataha pitarau. Parvati, that Ma Parvati, that Shakti. What is in the womb of, what is that? That is the making this Mother Earth also? Is it energy? What is in sun also? Is that energy? That Ma Shakti, Ma Parvati is in everything. So that Ma Parvati is appearing in different forms. You and I are claiming at a certain point in time some form as contribution from me. Would it even make sense? You and I fight in office and in many places for credit, no? I have done the work. So if, let's say, for example, you spend all the night and you made some nice little obattu, and in the morning you are giving to your family, and suddenly, as an example, I'm just saying, okay, suddenly your mother-in-law comes and says, I did it. How will you feel as a daughter-in-law? Or let's say you have sat the whole night and you debugged a program, and the next day you are going and you are showing to your customer, and suddenly your manager comes and says, oh, Jack or Jill or whoever it is, the customer, I solved it. How will you feel? So terrible, no? But that is what we are doing, no? We are taking the credit from the mother and we are saying, I have done it. So that is what Sri Krishna is teaching us. It's just like how, when you see all these, what is that we see? Various electrical appliances. Now, if I ask you the question, what is making all of them work? What is the power behind all of it? You and I know very clearly. The power behind all of them is electricity. Is it not? So, Parameshvara, the Lord, and the Lord is appearing as the Shakti also. So, and that is appearing as various forms. However, in my infinite ignorance, I start claiming the ownership. So, how to get rid of me from that sense of wrong understanding? So, the great masters are saying, do this work as an offering to the Lord. At least that way, I start slowly releasing my own sense of that I am doing, I am enjoying, I am the doer and I am the enjoyer is what is actually holding me so tight, so constipated, right? So because I'm now so afraid, what if somebody else takes credit? I have to guard, right? I'm constantly on a guard. Is it not? When I feel I have done, it is mine, so much anxiety and worry will be there. You know that story of that thief who went to the, some master. Somebody said, he has pearls and diamonds. He wanted to steal, but the master knew and he called him. And he said, you have come here for these. Take them. So very happy. Ayyo, everybody should be like this. They should allow me to steal like this. So he brought all of it home and he put it in his trunk. And he wanted to go and sell tomorrow morning. Suddenly the sense of, ayyo, what if somebody comes and takes? All the tension and anxiety was in his heart. But thankfully, another important question also rose up in his heart. Arre, this fellow so easily gave up all this as if it did not matter at all. There must be something more valuable. So next day morning he ran. So like that, this mind has to learn to see what is more valuable in life. But if this mind is constantly running behind, I want that, I want this, who is giving me, who did not give me, when will I ever ask the most important questions? So I have to, first of all, let my mind settle down. How will my mind settle down? Only if my mind lets go of this constant seeking. I want that, I want this. I want to enjoy that, I want to enjoy this. I am doing that, I am doing this. So it has to first relax. Then only some important questions can be patiently examined. Is it not? So, Shri Krishna, Vedavyasa Maharshi, Sadguru, great masters are showing us that path. Karma Sanyasa. Do your action as a Ishwararpitam. So as you and I start doing whatever you and I are doing, we are doing so many things. As you and I start doing whatever we are doing as an offering to the Lord, who am I serving in the form of my child? It is not the body of my child. It is the Lord within. Who is that I'm feeding? It is not the dog that I'm feeding. It is the Lord in the dog. Who is that I'm watering? It is not the plant that I'm watering. It is the Lord within. So as I start doing it, my mind learns to settle down, because it is in my mind that all these impressions are stored. I want that, I want this. So first that vritti, that attitude of the mind has to calm down a little. So that is the sannyasa that I need to take, not the action itself. The sannyasa of the attitude with which I'm doing. And as I do that, I then really start seeing, as an example here, this is a wonderful shloka from Shankaracharya, which helps us to see this shloka also. So here in this shloka, Shri Krishna is saying, I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. So to see that, let's ask a different question. What light is needed to see something in life? So the first answer that we all obviously give is light from the sun. If there is no light from the sun, how can I see? Correct. So the light from the sun, or the light from whatever that source of light, has to fall on the object. But what if you do not have the eye only? So there has to be an eye to see this light. So there has to be a light in the eye to see that. Because you may have a physical eye, but if you don't have the light in the eye, and that light in the eye is what our great masters have given different names. Devata. Devatas are nothing but these sources of various powers within you and me, various powers that are running this existence. So the light that helps you and me see in the eye is Surya Devata. It is a blessing of the Surya Devata that is making your eye and my eye see whatever you are seeing. If that itself, if the blessing of Surya Devata is not there, how can you see? Though the sunlight may be there. Okay, is that enough? No. There has to be a mind to see this whole thing. Without the mind, because in a dead body, that physical eye is there, but if the mind that is functioning through that body is not there, how can you see? And is mind enough? No, the power of the light has to be there, the power of the Devata, the Chandra Devata. Chandra Devata is the one who is giving the power to see in the mind. If that is not there, how can this mind even see? Now, who is the source of the light for the Chandra Devata? Because Chandra Devata, for the mind to function, the power of the Chandra Devata should be there. So now who is behind this? And that is the light of the awareness. That is a divine light. So without this divine light, which is functioning through you and me and through everything else, who can see? So Sri Krishna is pointing to this light. Sri Krishna, when he says, I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. So now if you see this stream, where is that you are actually seeing when you say, I am seeing something? Or when you say, I am hearing, where is that you are actually hearing? What is helping you to hear? What is that helping you to smell? What is that is helping you to feel the touch? What is that is helping you to feel any of the things that you're feeling through your five senses ultimately? So if you see, this entire thing is needed, but ultimately, without this light of awareness, which is who you truly are, without that, how can any of this really function? Just like how the electricity is the one which is making the appliances function, it is light of the awareness. So ultimately, you are the one who is enjoying all of it. In what way? All these sensations through the five senses are ultimately coming and culminating in the awareness as jnana. As that awareness, oh, I am seeing mango, oh, I am smelling mango, oh, I am touching mango. So from where that sense of awareness is arising, that is the ultimate knower. That is the ultimate enjoyer. And that ultimate knower, ultimate enjoyer is not bound by any of this. And that light of awareness has no likes and dislikes. But the instrument through which it is functioning may have developed that likes and dislikes. And that is what Sri Krishna is removing step by step. So first step is to first quieten the mind so that the mind is not constantly going behind the likes and the dislikes, so that it can go beyond and see the light that is lighting the mind itself. Because ultimately you and I are seeing in the mind. But what is the light that is seeing? It is the light of the awareness. It is greater than all the great light. And that is what you and I keep chanting as one of our Mangala Shloka. Antarjyotihi bahirjyotihi pratyakjyotihi paratparaha jyotirjyotihi swayam jyotihi atmajyotihi shivosmyaham. It is this supreme light of awareness that is illuminating this, what we call as the outer world of objects and this inner world of thoughts. Ultimately, it is here that you are seeing. And it is the one which is lighting all the states of your waking, dreaming, deep sleep. And this light needs no other source. It is a Swayam Jyoti. And that is Atman Jyoti. Shivosmyaham. And Sri Krishna is pointing to that by saying, I am the enjoyer of all the sacrifices and austerities. This is what you and I need to realize ultimately. But to realize this, my own mind, my own impressions, my own vasanas are my blocks. And how to get rid of those vasanas is by doing the karma that I am doing as an offering to the Lord. The Lord within. Karma Sanyasa. So as I see the Lord within, and I see the Lord in everyone, and I am doing my action as an offering to the Lord, then my mind comes out of these vasanas. The hold of these vasanas on me reduces, helping me to then see the light of all the lights. And thus, my devotee attains peace. Because ultimately, peace is your true nature. You are that source of peace, Parama Shanti. But to realize that and to be stable in that, my vasana kshaya has to happen. And this is a path of the vasana kshaya. Doing whatever I'm doing as a Ishwararpitam Nechchaya Kritam. And that's what Ramana Maharshi says. Ultimate way of karma. What is the right karma? Is whatever I do as an offering to the Lord. When I truly am offering something to the Lord, will I offer something less? Whatever I always offer the best. When you are looking after your child, will you ever do any kanjustana? Never. Whatever you have, you look at the best possible for your child. That is the attitude of serving the Lord in everyone. All right? Hari Om. Ishaji, is there any question or any additional points that you would like to make?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. Is there any other question or any other points from anyone? Then shall we end? Hari Om.